welcome to Grand Prix 4. Oh, I'm very excited for this. There we go. Welcome to Grand Prix 4. We're going to be doing the 1998 season, which is, I think, a great place to start with Grand Prix 4. I hope you're doing well out there today. Yeah, here for Melbourne, the Australian Grand Prix. Let me make sure you guys can hear me all right. Should be good. But yeah, in Grand Prix 4 today, which I've been wanting to do this one for a long time, but man, this game can be a little finicky, and hopefully I've got it all working well that we can actually jump in and do a season and really enjoy what this game's all about. It's a fantastic sim, especially for doing full seasons and things. So this is something I wanted to do for a long time. But we're going to be doing full distance Melbourne Grand Prix today, first round of the 1998 season. Let me actually get up the I got the schedule and stuff we can take a quick peek at before we jump into practice and qualifying. Here we go. All right, so this is our schedule for the season. 16-round championship, the classic Formula One distance, I guess. And starting with the Australian Grand Prix, we got a couple of pretty solid rounds up front. And then we go to the Argentine Grand Prix at Buenos Aires, which will be interesting. Really, especially in Grand Prix 4, the version of Buenos Aires that exists is extremely tight. So that one will be interesting. But yeah, it's such a good calendar from this era. It's got basically every track you'd want. Yeah, lots of variety and things. And it should be a good one. We got the full grid as well. I'm using the 1998 Hega, I believe is the person. Hega is the person that's made this mod, and I've done a few tweaks to it myself to you know, have it kind of fit what I'm doing. But we've got our driver Royce Axelson, who's the nephew of Richie Axelson, is in our headcanon here. And I'll be driving for Benetton in the seat that would have been Alex Wertz for 1998. But it was a pretty interesting season for Benetton. They had just come off years with Renault, very successful partnership there. And the last few years weren't as successful as obviously the Schumacher years, 94, 95. But yeah, they had a pretty good run with Alesi, Gerhard Berger. But 98 was like a clean change for them. They changed engine suppliers. Like, I'm not actually sure how different it was than the Renault. It was called the Playlife engine. I think it was like a debadged Renault, basically. But I could be wrong about that. But yeah, they had a new engine and they had two new drivers. In real life, they had Alexander Wertz being promoted up from junior seats, and Giancarlo Fisichella came over from Jordan. And so we'll be taking Alexander Wertz's seat with our driver Royce Axelson, the nephew of Richie Axelson. And it should be kind of fun to play around with it a bit. Let me get GP4 up on the screen here. There we go. And we're in practice right now for the race. We can look at a few of the cars. This is a great mod. It really, you can see here the Tyrrell with the high wings on the side. You'll see this on a few of the cars throughout the season, the early part of the season before they ultimately banned them. I think at Imola, like half the grid had these high wings, and yeah, they weren't outright banned till kind of mid-season here. But this car set goes race by race, so every race will have the correct grid and paint schemes and all that stuff, which is super fun. That's Ricardo Rosset. We got Pedro Diniz in the arrows, the all-black arrows. Let's see here, we got Mika Salo, his teammate there. I was almost going to drive for arrows, but where we are with Benetton, we should be competing for points. Getting a win, there's going to have to be some stuff that goes our way to possibly get a win. The Benetton is definitely not as quick as the Ferraris or McLarens, but yeah, I was thinking of going with the arrows, but we'd be fighting to just not get lapped. We were driving for Arrows. We got the Williams. They really fell off in 1998. Got Heinz-Harald Frentzen here. And then Jacques Villeneuve, his teammate, somewhere out here, and he's the defending champion, but very much was not going to be his season for 1998. Of course, got Stuart Grand Prix. Their second season, I believe, correct? Let's see, we got also the Bernardis, very slow this season. Here's Michael Schumacher. Although, why is that? No, it's Eddie Irvine. I got confused because it said Michael Schumacher at the bottom. But this is Eddie Irvine with the red helmet. He's chasing one of the Jordans. The Ferraris will be definitely with Eddie Irvine. I feel like we can mix it up with him. Michael might be on another level. And then, of course, Damon Hill driving for Jordan. You'd have to say it was his best season with them, probably, right? He had a nice little run there with Eddie Jordan's team. Also thought about driving for them, having Damon retire early, but I think it'll be fun racing against Damon rather than as him. Here's Jacques coming around doing some practice. Yeah, this was kind of the beginning of the end for his career overall. Yeah. And then we got the McLarens, of course. David Coulthard and Mika Hakkinen. This was the class of the field, especially in the early season. I'm doing things a little, I'm keeping it pretty realistic, but I am doing things a little, I guess, more fair, I guess you'd call it. I've got the performances set to be the same the entire season. I'm not personally a fan of when you recreate the actual results for every race, because you kind of know what's going to happen then. So I've got the performances set to be kind of a season average. So the McLaren's not going to be quite as dominant as it was in real life in the early season. The Ferrari is going to be much more competitive with it. But I think that's going to, well, my thought is anyway, that's going to make a lot more competitive, interesting championship, because it'll be kind of even throughout the whole season. So in real life, the McLaren dominated Melbourne, and I think almost lapped the whole field, if not lapped the whole field. That looks like who we have out for practice currently. Mika and stuff as well, but jump in our car. The Benetton. I am going to do a quick lap of practice, but we're going to jump pretty quickly into qualifying and everything. But yeah, it's a very great game, and I've been doing tons of testing since the video I made of it to just try to learn the game itself, make sure I understand what's going on. But we're running on pro difficulty, no driving assists. All the failures and things are present. I have made one realism concession for the for this race only, in that it's just going to be sunny. I'm still tweaking the wet weather, driving against the AI to make sure that it's competitive and things. And in real life, Australia was completely dry as well. So I'm going to take one and just say that this race is going to be dry, like it was in real life. But for future races, I'm hoping I can turn on the dynamic weather and we'll see what happens as we go race to race. But one last thing for me to worry about today, at least with it. Let me check my setup here. Cool. Yeah, running mostly the default setup. I've just adjusted the wings there a little bit. Unfortunately, you won't be able to see that since it's a little bit off the screen. But all right, let's go out and do a quick lap and see how this thing feels. I'll put a couple more liters of fuel in. Yeah, I've seen lots of people have been jumping into this. I have links in the description of the stream here for like everything I could link to, and thankfully GrandPrixGames.org is back. Ooh, there goes my teammate. Oh, Mariano, thank you so much. It's very kind of you. I know a lot of people were excited for maybe doing some Grand Prix 4, so I hope this lives up to the hype. Yeah, I threw, of course I've heard about Alex Zanardi passing away yesterday or this morning. And very sad. He was such an icon, especially on the U.S. side with the kart stuff that he did. I feel like everybody knows about that. But it's quite tragic end, and hopefully he's in a better place now. It just sounded like things were pretty rough for a long time for him. One of my favorite moments of his that I don't see, so you always see the past brought up, right? And, you know, the famous Laguna Seca pass, which is such an iconic moment in racing history. But one that always sticks with me is, I think in 98, it might have been 99, but at Mid-Ohio, he had this moment where he, through the first corner, left-hander after the start line, he ran wide and over the grass and got some serious air over like a little access road and just kept his foot pinned in it, got back on the track and kept going. That always sticks with me. It's such a crazy moment. That guy was just on it 10/10ths all the time. And yeah, stuff like that. Doing his donuts in 2 when he won. He was the first IndyCar driver that I know of that ever did donuts after winning a race. That just wasn't something IndyCar drivers did, and Alex Zanardi comes at Long Beach, no less, doing donuts with his Reynard IndyCar. All right, it's great stuff to remember, and yeah. But Melbourne here. All right, so this is one of my favorite Grand Prix tracks, I would say. It's especially for this era. I feel like it suits these cars really well. It keeps you plenty busy and does some great racing as well. Yeah, I guess it was 98 then. Oh, why am I getting a couple stutters here? Let me do one thing. Let's see. That should fix it. This game's very finicky to get working, so I'm hoping it sticks together for me. I've had pretty good success now that I've been tooling around with it for a few months. All right, we'll try to do a lap here. I know the top guys are doing roughly 1 minute 30s. I do have the performance. I guess I should have mentioned this too. We are driving a car that has, you know, less power, less grip than some of the top cars. I'm using realistic performance so that the cars all kind of have their own characteristics. Whoa. Rear end gets quite loose there. So yeah, we should be comparable to our teammate, but I expect specifically the Ferraris and the McLarens to be a bit quicker. We'll probably be slightly faster than the Williams. And but it depends on how well I drive, of course. But I expect my teammate to be better than the Williams. All right, hopefully everything looks and sounds good. It's been kind of a little bit of a project to get the stream looking good and stuff, but I think it does. Yeah, I mean, we should have a good shot at definitely getting points and maybe podiums and stuff, but we're going to need some luck to win a race, I think. All right. So 132. I didn't really push too much on that lap. Car feels good though. Yeah, I'm using basically the default Melbourne. I thought about using the HD tracks and stuff, but I mean, this is really just my personal opinion. I kind of like the original ones a bit more, just with the colors of them and stuff. So I've done a little bit of graphic editing to this just to get rid of a few of the sponsors that didn't make sense for 1998 and put the red and black curbing and stuff on it. But otherwise, this is just the default Melbourne. And I'll probably do that for the whole season with tracks. I think the HD stuff's really impressive that's out there, but I kind of like the original graphic style of the game. All right, we'll come to the pits this time. I think the car feels plenty good. Right, of course, you got like the kind of auto-guided pit entry, so I'm flat out right now, and the game just does this. So if anybody complains about my slow pit entry, it's the game. But you can turn that off, but then you have like a way unfair advantage against the AI, so I choose to leave that on. Yeah, the cockpit is also something else I changed. I went back to the default shape and everything. I quite like it. There's a lot of mods for this game, though. You could spend a lifetime tweaking things. All right. Well, I'm only P16 there in practice, but I didn't really get a push lap yet, so. But I think we'll jump over to qualifying. All right. The menus are weird, so I've got a separate view so that we can you can at least see the menu in full res. Yeah, I know the slam on the brakes at the pit exit thing, but this track we should be all right there. All right, we'll leave practice and we'll skip Saturday practice and we'll jump straight to qualifying. So the way qualifying works in this, I mean, it's going to be everything we're doing is going to be the 2001 rules. And so I believe the tires that we choose for qualifying are the type that we have to use during the race. So if we choose soft compound, we can't race with hard compound. We also only get 12 laps total for qualifying, which with an out lap and an in lap basically means you've got 3 or 4 runs that you can do in qualifying, and we have a full hour to qualify. Of course, going to fast forward a little bit through parts of it. But yeah, it's a pretty interesting qualifying system. It definitely puts emphasis on, doing 2 or 3 runs and then kind of waiting to see what everybody else is doing. We can also see at any time how many cars are out on the track, so we can, try to go out there when there's nobody else out there. I mean, this mod did have track-specific performance, track-specific reliability. I changed all of that. So it's kind of a season-long average reliability performance with pretty good ranges so that cars, from race to race might change a bit. But it's not going to be exactly like real life. It keeps it a little more dynamic. But yeah, there is performance and stuff. We'll see. We will see people have failures and all that. But let me just check. So you can't see it, but there's a little mod here that allows you to do setup changes in the car. And so I'm just looking at my wings. I'm at 17 front wing, 18 rear wing. But one of the things with the car performance from, the changes from the default physics, the cars are very slidey in the corners compared to the 2001 cars. They just don't have as much grip. So I need a little bit more wing than you might need in some of the later seasons cars. Some people really like doing it so that the exact cars finish in the exact spots and everything. But it's for something like this where we're trying to kind of have a fictional make-believe season, I think it's fun to have it somewhat random. But yeah, okay. So I think that's good. What's my rear bar at? Front 7,500, rear's 1,000. Yeah, we'll keep things. The car felt all right, so I'll keep things there for now. All right. So qualifying here, I got to try to start as far up front as possible. I'm going to put 6 liters of fuel in, and we'll go do a few laps and see if I can get it at least into the front couple of rows, front 3 rows maybe. I know there's like, so one of the cool things you can do in all the Crammond games is watch races, spectate them. You don't have to drive at all. You can deselect the car and just watch them. And I mean, it's kind of cool to, especially if you're trying to work on the performance files and stuff. But if you just want to see the cars in action and all that, and I know plenty of people just simulate, you know, entire seasons like that. Up behind the 2 Minardis here. Should be able to get around. Is this Tuero in front of me? He's so much slower in the corners specifically. Very tight. All right, we'll come around and start our first qualifying lap. We'll try to get a banker in here. All right, nicely through the first couple of corners. I mean, this track is just, I love it. I don't know how other people feel about it, but it's got such a nice flow and rhythm to it. You can almost go flat out through that right-hander if you get the line. I don't think I like what they did to this track in regards to like removing some of these slower corners. I feel like they've fixed a problem with the cars by changing the track, and now that the cars are different, the track no longer works. Yeah, I think the engine sound, it's something that comes with the mod. I think it's the McLaren sound. It's pretty good. Slide it over the apex there. I got on the curbing. All right, we'll come through. This will be a decent lap, though. We'll see where I'm at. 29, 30. Whoa, 30.9, P3. Keep pushing.
Second row. Well done.
Thank you, sir. Slower through the middle there. I'm up a 10th though. Ugh. Really early turn in. You can get a black flag for cutting the track if you're too egregious with it. right, this lap should be even a little bit better. There we go, 3/10, P1. Well, for now, there's quite a lot of qualifying to go, but we'll let the team cheer about it. All right. Well, that's a good way to start qualifying. I expect the pole to be in the 29s, though, so I'm not so sure that this is going to hold. But we'll bring it in, doing an in-lap now, and we'll sit in the stall and see what happens. We can go out again later if somebody takes the pole from me. The steering wheel is, there's an HD mod, so it's the default steering wheel graphic, but it's, somebody made an HD version of it, and then I took and changed the LEDs to be all red. Uh-oh. Can we get in the garage from here? We'll see. I'm parked very strangely. I thought it was going to guide me in. There we go. We got our... What's funny is I was going through all the files to... whoa! Slide through the wall. I was going through all the files to change the graphics for the pit guys and stuff, and they're in the files they're called Muppets. Hey, Fire Escaper, I saw your comment on the video I did, and pretty awesome that you worked on this game. It's kind of a legendary game. It's nice to see you here. All right, I'm sitting P1 right now, but just a couple hundredths ahead of David Coulthard. I don't see Michael Schumacher up there yet, so we'll speed up the session a bit, maybe just like 10 minutes of it, and see what happens. Oh, there he goes. As soon as I do it, Michael Schumacher jumps up a couple tenths. It's 13 cars out right now. Let's get it. All right, sped it up a little further. There's only 4 cars out there, so this is a good time to go out. Looks like Mika Hakkinen has the pole now, a 1:30.2. And Michael Schumacher's just a few tenths up. So I'm sitting third right now, which is not bad. Go out for a second run here. Yeah, ahead of my teammate right now, which is good. I don't know how much faster I can go, though, but we'll try to put in a better lap here. Try not to bend the car, though. If I do crash the car in qualifying, we're going to call it session over. I guess depending on how hard the crash is. I feel like it's only fair. You can get away with quite a lot in the damage for this, so I think the biggest risk is either running off the track and breaking your front wing. That's a classic in the Crammond games. It's quite easy to do that, or hitting another car tends to be the biggest, because you'll get launched into the air doing that. But if you bump the wall and stuff, you can get away with a lot. All right, we'll come around. I got a couple laps here of fuel, so we can try to push and see if I can get back that provisional pole. Of course, I'm not going to use the traction control at all, since that wouldn't have been on the 98 cars. 98 was a year of rule changes. It's when the groove tires era started, and they narrowed up the cars quite a bit. Try to slow them down, but they ended up being faster. Oh, a couple turn-ins there. Well, I'm 500ths up on my best lap right now. A little bit of rear end. That's going to slow me down. Save the car, though. All right, I think I threw it away there. We'll go for another lap, though. Yeah, lost a lot in the final couple of corners. Oh, this game feels way better than I thought it would once I got the force feedback and stuff working. It's actually quite fun to drive. So slide it into the corner there. It's pretty playful on the throttle and stuff. Trying to wring the neck of this Benetton. Oh, we've slipped back to fourth. Somebody's jumped ahead of me. I hope it's not my teammate. Oh, I'm 2/10 up. This is good. Oh, again. No. Oh. All right, we got time for one more here before I run out of fuel. Just overcooked it. That's my nemesis corner, I think. Yeah, every car's got a V10 in this. That was a good lap, too. I was quite far ahead. All right. I'm pushing it way too hard to try to get the speed out of it. We'll get it out of the gravel, unlike real life. No way you're doing that in the real thing. Now, there were still some cars with V8s in them after 96, but the V12, Ferrari ran their last season with the V12 in 95, changed to a V10 in 96, and then, yeah, I think 97 was the last year that the Cosworth V8 was still hanging around. But from 98 to 2005, it was V10s only. Yeah, this is qualifying. We got 30 minutes to go, half the session done. I got one more run I can do. And this one, I know I can go quicker, so we'll go into the pits, see who jumped ahead of me, and then jump back out and try to get those positions back. The pit assist system is so strange in this. Oh, I know I can go quicker. Hold on. All right. They had a Ford V10? Okay, so maybe it was 96 the last year with a V8? Tyrrell used a V8. All right. Oh, it was my teammate. I was just joking. I didn't think he would, but Giancarlo Fisichella is 0.03 of a second faster than me. So it's McLaren on pole right now, Michael Schumacher in second, and Fisichella in third. Who do we got out on track at the moment? Denise. Hold on one sec. How do you... No, I don't think it's on Steam yet. I don't know about all that. We'll see, I guess, if it ends up being good or not. Here's Hakkinen. It's coming up behind a car though. Oh, that McLaren looks so good from 98. I will not take any Jean Alesi slander on this YouTube channel, let me tell you. I love Jean. One of my favorites. Hill here. Here's Schumacher. We haven't seen him yet. '98 is when they started to get scary good right at the end of the season in the Ferrari. It started to show that dominance that was going to be the next few seasons. The McLaren definitely had them at the start of the season, but they figured it out by the end. The Michael. Yeah, I love all the liveries and stuff too. Yeah, they look great. See if Michael's on the pace here. Whoa, he is 1,600 ahead. I'm not going to sit and watch a lot of qualifying because I do want to get to the race here, but it is kind of fun to sit and watch it. We'll see if he's going to set a better lap. He's on a better one right now. Yeah, this mod, the car shapes and stuff are really nice. Especially like the Ferrari and the McLaren here. Wow, he's a 10th up. Michael's looking for pole here. Here he comes to the line. As long as he didn't look like he bottled the last sector. Wow, 129.9 for the Michael. Man. So that gets Michael Schumacher on provisional pole. In fourth place right now, our driver Royce Axelson. You can call him Roy for short. All right, let's speed up the time a little bit to wait till there's a few less cars out there. Oop, right away. All right, we'll make one more run for it. I've got 4 laps I can do, so I can do 2 timed laps now. Hey, Ted. The OG Grand Prix 4 streamer. You will have noticed, though, and we won't say too much about it now, but Royce here is claiming Monaco as his home. Maybe a falling out between the Axelson brothers. All right, we got one of the Minardis ahead of me, so I'm going to give it a little bit of a gap here. A lot of gap. Well, Royce here is Richie's nephew. So I guess you could call it Ryan Axelson's cousin. We'll have to uncover more as the season goes, maybe. All right, we got two timed laps here, I think. Got 4 more laps I can do in the session, and that counts in and out laps, so this is one of them. See if we can get up any further on the grid. Oh, and I got some traffic coming out. Hopefully the Jordan's nice to me here. Is it hill? Oh, a little bit of a lock up there. All right, they're actually not super slow, but I think I'm going to catch him here. Oh, a bit of a tank slapper. Maybe I'll get a slipstream. A bunch of understeer there. Oh, I'm 2 tenths up though. Maybe I'm getting a little bit of help from this Jordan actually. It is hill. You can see the boat club helmet. Oh my God. How many times have I screwed it up in the last corner so far? All right, we got to do, this is it. This has got to be it. I have a Prost coming up behind me. This is the final lap I can do of qualifying here. Oh, big slide there. It's going to lose me a bunch of time. I'm 5 tenths off. See if we can claw any of it back. Just don't have enough grip. But if I put more wing on it, it would be pretty slow in a straight line, so it's always a balance. That was a pretty good run. I picked up that whole 5 tenths there. We're right on the line with my time. I got to get my teammate at least. Bit wide. Oh, I can't do it. Ooh, don't hit me. Man, he just decided to take the corner as usual. Well, that's going to be it for qualifying. I don't think that lap was going to be much better anyway. All right, I held up the Stewart there. So P4, we'll have to see if anybody else nips in front of me here at the end of the session, but hopefully not. Ooh, don't hit the guy. It was a good effort. I'm happy I got that first run. What is going on here? Getting pushed out of the way by another car. Yeah, the car is pretty oversteer. I might dial the front wing down a little bit for the race. Martin, I got to do some more practice with the CUDA at Bathurst. That's going to be a heck of a race. I have to claim my innocence there. The game controlled it for me. Well, all right, we'll run it to the end of the session then. We're sitting fourth right now. See if anybody else nips in front. Doesn't look like it. All right, we'll take a look at the whole grid here in a second when we go to the race itself. But Michael gets the pole ahead of Mika Hakkinen, Giancarlo Fisichella, and I've got myself in fourth ahead of David Coulthard in the second McLaren, which is pretty good, and then Heinz-Harald Frentzen back there. We'll look at the whole thing here in a second when we go to the grid. I am going to save the game in case something bad happens, which has never happened in the history of Grand Prix 4. All right. All right, let's jump into the pre-race real quick just to make sure the setup's good. Yeah, under 1 minute 30, which is way faster. I think real life the times were like in the 1 minute 30s. So David Crash, was he? Do people think he was a crasher? It's really interesting when you make when I made the video of the 2001 at Indy, all of the old opinions come straight out from people with who they think was good or bad, and they start fighting with each other and stuff. It's like, man, this stuff is 30 years ago basically at this point. But yeah, folks have their opinions. All right, yeah, I'm going to take 1 degree of front wing out of it just to calm it down a little bit. We got to make it to the end of the race first and foremost. All right, that'll be good. I'm not actually going to go out and do any of the race or warm up. All right, so we are ready to go for the first race of the season. This will be a lot of fun. We'll take a look at the starting grid here for the Australian Grand Prix. Michael Schumacher gets the pole. It's weird. It's stretched on this view. It's like if I look at it the way I'm seeing it, I have these gray bars on the side, but I guess this looks better because at least the cars aren't distorted. But yeah, Michael Schumacher for Ferrari gets the pole ahead of Mika Hakkinen in the McLaren. I believe the McLaren's got the front row in real life and just ran away and lapped the field. But Michael looks like he wants to fight today. The second row is all Benetton. My teammate did out-qualify me, but not by much. You'd have to imagine Flavio would be okay with the way it is. Rookie driver starting in 4th position. All right, and behind us we got David Coulthard and Heinz-Harald Frentzen in the first of the Williams. Eddie Irvine in the second Ferrari with Jacques Villeneuve alongside of him. Defending champion. We'll see how well his defense goes for this season. Ralf Schumacher in the first of the Jordans in 9th ahead of Johnny Herbert in the Sauber in 10th. We got Olivier Panis in the Prost 11th. That's pretty good for them. So well done, Olivier. Ahead of Jean Alesi in the Sauber, second of the Saubers. They're pretty good right in the middle of the pack there. They were actually pretty good this season. The Saubers were kind of best of the rest, I would say. You had McLaren, you had Ferrari, you kind of had Williams. Benetton was a bit better than Williams, and then Sauber was probably the next one, I would say. Maybe with Jordan in there. Damon Hill, way back in 13th, almost kind of held me up on a lap. Head of, Pedro Diniz in the Arrows in 14th, not too bad. Rubens Barrichello in the first of the Stewarts, they had a pretty miserable season. But back in 15th, I had a Jarno Trulli. Mika Salo in 17th with Jan Magnussen. Jan, we'll follow the real driver changes. Jan will be swapped out some point during the season. He's the only driver that changed during the whole season. But Jan will start the season with Stewart here. Tora Takagi back in 19th, with Shinji Nakano in 20th, Esteban Tuero, the Argentinian driver, in 21st, ahead of Ricardo Rossi in the Tyrrell at the back of the grid. Yeah, it was interesting. This has Pedro Diniz name in full. It's all editable, but that's how the mod came. All right, this is going to be a pretty good race. Now, we get to choose strategy, and we're not having any wet weather today. But for future races, I'm hoping I can get it to work correctly so that we can do wet weather, because that's some of the best stuff in this game. But I think I'm going to go for a one-stop. I wanted to do two-stop, but I think the tires will be okay to go for a one-stop. And I guess if we have a one-stop and we feel like the tires are really, really wearing out, then we could, we could always change our minds mid-race. But if you go on a two-stop, you're kind of, because we'll take less fuel, so you're kind of bound to that as it is. So yeah, we'll go with the one-stop strategy. Soft tires, since that's what I qualified on. And we'll have to see how it goes. I appreciate everybody joining today. I hope this ends up being as fun as I'm expecting it to be. But goals for this are to get through the race. And I will make, kind of like I did with my IndyCar 2 series, if there's some crazy calamity on the first lap that feels like the game kind of breaking, like the AI are doing something really dumb, we'll probably restart the race. But otherwise, once we get going, whatever happens, happens. If I have a mechanical failure, if I have a crash, it's all going to be stuff that we deal with. And I'm also not going to game the AI on the first corner. You can pretty easily make up tons of positions by like jumping up the inside or something. And I'm gonna fall in line, try not to be too egregious with it. But once we get going, everything goes. So try to make some passes. Starting fourth on the grid, I guess I just have to hope not to lose many positions. And yeah, try to get through this race, get some points, get on the board at least, and then work on to the rest of the season. So thanks for joining me today. Round 1, 1998 season in Grand Prix 4. Long time coming for this, but we'll see if we can get old Royce Axelson some notoriety. All right. Just the second row back. It's a lot further up than it looked on the timesheets. Lights are lit. Oh, a long way out. We're underway. Bit of wheel spin there. Not a great start. Cool Tire jumps ahead. Come down to the first corner. Yeah. Just got a parking lot there. The Williams behind ran a bit wide, but we'll get through it. We got a Ferrari that's Eddie Irvine behind me then. We're a lot heavier than we were in qualifying, so just got to be careful and adjust to it. Not a bad start, though. We're in 5th position. Got to get top 6 to get points, of course. All right, Eddie Irvine's hounding me here. If you know Eddie, that's maybe not a great place to be. Well, the Ferrari's quite quick. Jumps up the inside. Whoa! Making contact. Is the car okay? I might have survived that. I thought I saw a wheel go flying. Just as I say it, I think I got away with that. I'm surprised it didn't break the wing. We'll see if the crew has me coming in the pits here. Jacques Villeneuve's out. Ugh. I thought I gave him plenty of room. He just squeezed me to the outside there. And we got one of the Williams jumped in front of me. I'm in P6 now. Yeah, it looks like we survived the crash. What a first lap. All right. Try to get some rhythm going here. We got Heinz Harald in front of me, Ralf Schumacher and the other Jordan behind. Eddie Irvine's in the pits. No doubt he had some issues there. A bit of wheel spin. I don't think I said it's a 58 lap race, so we got to make it to lap 29 or so to get halfway for our pit stop. A little less dramatic this time. Through that, what's that, turn 6? Or 8 maybe? I think I gave him plenty of room there. We can watch it back after the race if we want. It's a long ways till then though. I forget about that by the time we get there. All right, Hakkinen setting the fastest laps. I left the graphics on so we can get a sense of what's happening during the race. All right, 3.8 seconds off of Frentzen. I feel like I'm actually losing time to him and falling back into the clutches of Schumacher. Ralph. If you can't tell, the car is so much slower on full fuel. It's very heavy. Or it's not even full fuel, it's half a tank, or half a race distance. I'm so happy I didn't get damage from that crash, though. That would have been not good on the first lap. Pit for a wing or something. Here comes Ralph. Yeah, I might have to deal with this Jordan here soon. Break the slipstream a little bit. I can see him in my left mirror there. Yeah, Frentzen's pulling away pretty good. Maybe a one stop was the wrong choice. I don't know. We have to live with our decision now. Oh, Ricardo Ross sits out the Tyrrell. How good is this that there's a game like this where the AI is hounding you from behind? I feel like so rarely in Sims the AI actually gets faster during a race or something. But you get a proper challenge in this. Or at some point, you know, he might start backing off a bit if his tires start wearing out or for whatever reason. We have to hope for that right now because Ralph is here. Just trying to be smooth. All right, so Ralph's got one of the Saubers behind him. My guess is well, it could be Herbert or Alesi. They started pretty close together. And I can hope that they end up getting involved with each other a bit and fall away. Ralph caught up to me, but he hasn't, in the last lap or so, hasn't really pulled it in any further. Maybe I'm getting that newness off the tires and can start pulling away from him or something. All right. Whoa. We're trying not to get the Royce train going, but you never know. Whoa, the back end steps out from me there. These cars are on edge. They have a little bit less grip than the 2001 cars, so they're a bit more slidey. They're a little bit down on horsepower, but not much. So they're a few seconds a lap slower overall, but it's mostly the grip in the corners. Yeah, if you're wondering what the steering wheel stuff is, obviously my position is on the top left, so on P6. We got the speed in kilometers per hour in the middle. We got how many laps I've done so far to the right of that, so 6 laps. We got how many liters of fuel, or laps of fuel. It doesn't measure it in liters, it measures it in laps. So we got 25 laps of fuel left. Obviously the gear I've got in the middle. Oh, big slide there. I got up on the curb again. Ralph looking to pounce. Come on now. And then we got water temp on the right. Everything you need. Go for a little defense here. Big slide there, basically a power slide through the corner. Keep it to the inside here. Just don't want Ralph to run into the back of me like, well, I guess Eddie ran into the side of me. All right, I'm having a lot of trouble with that final couple of corners. It seems to be the tricky one for me. All right, nicely done there. I definitely pulled out a bit on Ralph that lap. We got quite a ways to go to the pit stop. We're definitely going to hit traffic in this one, and the Minardis and Tyrrells at the back of the grid are quite slow. So, although I think we've already seen at least one of them retire, but we would probably lap them twice during the race if we're up front. And you never know what could happen with lapping traffic. So. Plenty of drama still to come, I'm sure. But things are settling after the crazy first lap. Now, the Grand Prix games have always been pretty sensitive with the curbs. You got to be careful on a lot of them. Or you got to figure out which curbs can you hit and which ones can't you. And the one in that second to last corner, you definitely cannot hit it. Or at least not at an angle. Yeah, I guess you can clip it, but if you're sliding the car and it upsets the weight balance, it can really throw you off. Maybe you could adjust the fast dampers to work on it, but... What happened to Alexander Wurz? Well, he just never got the call. I think Benetton saw a name like Axelson and then dollar signs appeared after it. All right, I'm able to keep ahead of Ralph here. I just have to be ultra consistent. All right, 133.3. We'll keep an eye on my lap time, see if I can, we qualified in the 130s. I don't think that's going to happen in the race here, but Frenzen's 9.6 seconds ahead now. He's really pulled out there, but Ralph's fallen back a bit. He's maybe occupied with the Sauber behind him now. Oh, Pedro Diniz is in the pits. It's a bit early. I mean, the other thing I could hope for here is that a lot of these cars are on a two-stopper and somehow my one-stopper will benefit me. But I've lost a lot of time to the cars in front. Yeah, still losing time to Frentzen. So, I mean, we're in the points, and after the first lap, that's not such a bad place to be. But we have just 1 point where I am right now. I will be astonished if all of the cars in front of me finish the race, but we'll see. Oh, Jarno, as I say it. I mean, Jarno's not in front of me, but there goes Jarno in the Prost. Out of the race, puncture. But just like that can happen to the AI, it can happen to me as well. So we'll hope I don't have a failure. Yeah, if there was a Truly train, it's gone now. Yeah, Ralph and I are basically the same speed. One lap, he'll gain a couple tenths, then he'll lose a couple. Whoa, the car, man, it really wanted to turn in there. Right on the edge. What is going on? Why is it so... It's so slidey suddenly. Yeah, I've like lost a lot of rear end grip suddenly. I don't know if that's a tire problem or they're just wearing out. Trying to drive it a little cautiously so it doesn't step out on me. Very slow that lap. Something changed. It was nice and comfy, and then suddenly it's not anymore. I mean, if these guys all start pitting, I don't know. I'll have to really think hard about whether or not I continue to a one-stop or abort and do a two-stop just so I could get new tires, because it feels difficult. Oh, we got a yellow flag or something. Whoa. Didn't see any waved yellows there. David Coulthard's out. I'm in 5th then. One of the McLarens doesn't make it. Oh my God, it's so hard to drive now. Something that's probably the tires wearing out, or I'm having some sort of slow failure. I might have to, no matter what, abort the one stop. Oh, the Sauber gets around Ralph. It's Herbert. I mean, it looked to me like, I didn't see what the reason was for Coulthard, but it seemed like a failure of some kind. The car was just parked there on the left. I will lift for flags in this. You don't have to, but we'll play it real. See if they've got it cleaned up this time. No flag on the dash. We're getting just about to that two-stop window. A bit of a lock up there. Seems like we're dropping Ralph behind now that Herbert's got around him. Electrical, yeah. I had an electrical, I was doing some GP2 the other day around Monaco, and I had an electrical failure and the car was stuck in second gear. I've either gotten used to the car or it's coming back to me or something. That was crazy how oversteery it got suddenly. Maybe the front tires have worn out an equal amount. Well, Rubens is out. The Stewart with suspension failure. A lot of retirements happening. I mean, that bodes well if our car can hold together. I would expect 10, 12 cars to retire in the races. It's pretty much how it was in the late 90s. Yeah, especially early in the season, it was not uncommon for the first Grand Prix to have barely enough finishers to get points finishers. Truly experimental stuff happening. I see a car up there. All right, we're gonna start getting to the traffic. There it is. Now they should let us by, but it's always a bit dicey with where they're gonna do it, and I mean, not so unrealistic, I guess. But yeah, we got a Minardi to get around here. Little snaps there. All right, hopefully we can catch him at a good spot coming up. Get him on the straight here, maybe. Nope. Up the inside. I don't like that. The car slipped so much there. All right, we'll get around him. It looks like maybe the Sauber is going to be held up a little bit. Not really. Herbert gets around him as well. All right, one lapped car dispatched, though. We'll probably see him again later. It's not even 1/3 distance yet. Going up to lap 18 now. 58 laps on the race. And yeah, this has been really difficult thus far. I thought I was going to have a little bit more pace. Might be the one stop that's causing me the issue, but we should see if everybody else is on a two-stop, they're going to start pitting now-ish. And I think if they do, I'm also going to switch to a two-stop just so I could get some new tires. But we'll have to see. Live and learn. Rookie mistake. I guess we got a rookie crew chief as well. Or who does the strategy in a strategist, race strategist? Ooh, a little kiss of the barrier there. Don't do that. Yeah, we'll live and learn a bit. I'm not so experienced in this game, so I guess I can truly live out the rookie life and learn with you all what strategies are going to work and not work. I should have said it off the beginning, but I've never raced a full season in this. Just some random races, so I'm very excited to learn everything. Herbert's really on me now. Ralph is still not that far behind, but he's dropped off a little bit. Still doing 133, as I've basically been doing the same lap time since the start. Brenson's 15 seconds up the road. I've well and truly lost that group. Not a very good run through there. I haven't seen anybody diving into the pits yet. I'm really deep down hoping that everybody pits right now, but we'll have to see. We got to do 8 more laps to get to halfway, so I think at this point we're on the one stopper. If nobody's going to pit, maybe everybody else in front of me is also on the one stop, which makes me a bit sad about my pace here. Could be we got a bad set of tires, though. That's what we'll say. I actually gained a little bit on Frentzen that lap, but I think he's probably in traffic or something. We'll keep an eye on it, though. Herbert's still right behind me, so I almost loop it there. The tires are feeling it now. Maybe I was so high up on the grid because I had softs on in qualifying and everybody else took hards and therefore is having a much easier time with this one stop. Maybe. Although my teammate did out-qualify me, so. Almost looped it there too. Come on now. We gotta get through this first stint. Maybe pushing it a bit too far on the brakes now. Herbert's right here. Whoa, Mika Salo's out. The Arrows, an engine failure. I think this was the season the Arrows batched their own engine. It was a really weird, 1998 was a really weird time. There was a lot of strange engines suddenly. You had the Mecha Chrome in the Williams. You had the Playlife in the Benetton here. But yeah, the big manufacturers, there was a bit of a lull. Of course, had Ferrari and Mercedes up front, but the rest of the grid was going through a transformation, I think. Whoa, yellow flag. That's probably Mika Salo's car. I approached that kind of fast. Herbert's not honoring the yellow flags. He's right on me now. He's gonna go to the outside. Cut him off there. Dueling with Johnny Herbert. Oh, that was good. We're not far away from the pit stop. I just got to get there. Maybe my situation will change a bit the second half of the race. I see another car up the road. I think it's another lapped car, of course. Well, they're just going to leave the arrows there. I love that. I love that in the game when the cars, by the end of the Grand Prix, you've got cars scattered all over the place. I wonder how the game chooses when to lift a car over the barrier versus just setting it alongside the track, but I love when it does it. I've got enough here to stay in front of Herbert, but just. And if he gets by, I'm not sure I'll be able to keep up with him. I'm sure he's held up a little bit back there. Car is so slidey now. I don't have a train. There's just the 2 cars behind me. That's been there basically the whole race thus far. Ralph fell off a bit for a while. Now they're getting closer together. You could hardly call it a train. I think it's a Prost we're catching. No, it's another Minardi. Nice, doing low 33s now. The fuel's off, so despite the tires being spent, I'm still going faster. Whoa, I've pulled in a couple of seconds off Frentzen. I mean, he's 14 seconds up the road. It's a long ways, but it's nice to see at least. He's probably in traffic. Maybe we'll pit before it. We're on lap 26 now. It's only a couple more laps. I'm just going to wait till the crew calls me in, basically. Oh, it's being very kind or something. Just get to the apex before. That was a bit scary. I bet that Minardi's retiring. That seemed very slow. Yeah. Shinzi Nakano's out of the race. Well, it worked out for me. Lock up there, come on. Oh, they're battling behind me now. Ralph's trying to get back around Herbert. Keep doing that. Allow me to get away. Should be any lap now. We'll get the call from the crew to come in. I could, of course, request my stop at any point, but I'll just wait till they do it for me. I am but a driver. Oh, big slide there. It'll be very nice to get new rubber. I wonder, I mean, maybe the accident with Irvine wore out the tires a bit. I've lost the 2 behind me. We're well and truly on our own now. This might be quite a boring race from my viewpoint. Holding at 15 seconds behind Frentzen here. We got one more lap till halfway. I expect to come in on lap 29, but we'll see. All right, coming up to halfway in the race, there's 15 cars still running. I'm in P5, so I'm on 2 points right now if we finished here. I don't think I've got anything for the cars in front of me. It's really just seeing if anybody else has a failure and trying to keep these two behind me. But sometimes races are like that, where you're just on the defense the whole time. We can pretend that maybe something happened with the car with the coming together with Irvine. I don't know if GP4 models slight damage like that. Obviously, that was a pretty big whack. I also have to think, I mean, Irvine is behind us somewhere, and maybe we'll see him again. I don't think I saw him retire. All right, we're coming up on a couple cars. It might be a good lap to pit. We only have 3.5 laps of fuel left. I'm assuming they're going to give Giancarlo the... oh, here we go. Okay. I was going to say, I'm sure they would give Giancarlo the preferential pit treatment, seeing as he's in front of me, but... we just got the call, so we'll come in, put another 30 laps of fuel in, change the tires, thank God, and see if we can get this thing to the end of the race. Herbert's closed it back up behind me. I'm tiptoeing around right now. All right. Hopefully we can do this clean. Pit stops are always a bit of an adventure in this game. It's controlling my speed for me, so I can't... oh, it's so slow. Every other car has to do the same thing, though, so... all right, there's the crew. I feel like I'm the only person pitting right now. Come on. Get in there. Oh, it's slow. It feels slow. I hope that was a good stop. It felt slow, though. All right, I made it through the first half of the race. Eddie Irvine notwithstanding. All right, I need a really good outlap here. Hopefully that stop was quick enough. Got to readjust to the grip now. I've got a lot of it. But I don't want to abuse these tires too much because we got to get them to the end. It's like a totally different car now. It's not exactly faster because it's heavy again, but it's got a lot more low speed grip. Just try not to outbrake myself. The braking distances are a bit longer now. We're in P10, but of course everybody else needs to pit still. I don't know why I was the first person coming in. Hopefully we'll get back up to P5 after all the pit cycle goes through. Blue flag. Oh, it is a McLaren behind me. Well, might go a lap down here for a moment before they pit. All right, I got Jean Alesi in front of me. I mean, I'll let him by if he gets here, but I'm not going to pull over way ahead of time. I need to be doing good laps right now. Blue flags weren't quite the same in 1998 that they are these days. They were given, but cars didn't jump out of the way quite like they do now. They'd let them by maybe in a corner or two. It also wasn't as hard to pass cars back then, so I think it goes both ways. Oh, yellow flag. Oh, on the pit entrance. Oh, you didn't quite make it, bud. All right, there goes the other Minardi. So both Minardis are out. Not going to get any points in this. Why isn't anybody pitting yet? I'm getting worried. Did they secretly ban refueling and have tires that last forever? I guess that would have closed the pit entry, right? With the Minardi there. I'm pulling in Alesi right now, but I'm hoping he's got a pit here any lap. All right. Is that Mika behind me? Even though it's on strategy a little bit, it doesn't feel nice to go a lap down. Wow, he's staying out. What is going on? Oh, and it's not broken. You're right. Coulthard did DNF. You got to forgive me for not remembering all of that in the moment. It is Mika, though, for sure, and he's definitely going to want to get by here. He hasn't quite gone for a move yet. If he goes for a move, I'll let him. I'm trying to keep up my pace so that when Herbert and Ralph Schumacher pit, that I get in front of them. If I pull over to let Hakkinen by here, I'm going to totally give up some of that advantage. Yeah, I'm confused why nobody's pitting yet. I'm getting really worried about it. I've done races here before, and I thought I saw everybody pit like normal, so. Ooh, another yellow flag. Oh, that's the Ferrari. Oh, and there goes Mika into the pits. Oh, thank God. I'm actually more excited that Mika's pitting than, oh, that was Irvine. All right, well, Irvine ends his race after the first lap collision. I'm surprised he continued for that long. But Mika's in the pits. Thank God they're pitting. So I'm in P9 now. I guess I did get by Irvine there, but he was going to have to pit anyway. Slide it into the corner. So all these guys should start pitting, and hopefully we'll crawl back up to 5th where I was. I have a bad feeling that those two, if they stayed out that long, are going to be so much better on fuel than me. They'll come out needing less fuel and having better tires than I have. Skill alone, yeah. I'm going to have to overtake Alesi here on skill alone, too. All right, there goes Herbert in the pits. This is big. I need to end up in front of him. Schumacher as well. I have to pass him here. We'll see. Wow, that means they were on heavier fuel at the start of the race. Of course, Alesi's going to stay out a lap here, help his teammate. Look how fat that Sauber is. All right, coming past the end of the pit lane. No, there he is. And Schumacher. Oh, I lost both spots. All right, we need to get rid of Alesi here quick. Michael's in the pits now, so he was in second, I think. He took the lead when Mika pit. Right on the back of Alesi. Alesi playing block for his teammate here. Ah, I lost the spots to both of them through the pit stop. All right, Alesi a little bit slow there. Ooh, he pinches me. We got Damon coming up behind now too. Oh! Well, if you're gonna park it in the middle of the corner there. And he pushes me to the inside. Damon's gonna look now. Oh, I gave him the inside there. All right, hold it in front of Damon. I think that's Damon. That might be Ralph, actually. I don't know what's going on. All right, Alesi goes in the pits. No thanks. Jordan's in the slipstream behind. Wow, what a maneuver. That's Ralph. Gets by me into turn one. The rookie being shown what for here at Melbourne. Dang, these guys are ruthless. This is so cool. I hope you're enjoying it. You know, if you're expecting a run to victory every race, I think you're getting a little taste for what this season's going to be like. Although I was hoping I'd be slightly faster in this, but we got some stuff to work on for Interlagos, I guess. Let's see if I can get Ralph back here. Sitting P8, we're outside the points now. We've fallen a little bit further back. I don't know if anybody else in front of me has to pit still. I would imagine at least somebody. They're all pitting so late into the race, though. It's really not going to be good for old Royce here, though, if Giancarlo's on the podium or something. And I'm not even in the points. We know Frenson's up there somewhere. Giancarlo's up there, Michael, Mika, and then Johnny Herbert and Ralph Schumacher, and they're pulling away from me. We got somebody coming out of the pits. Looked like an Arrows, though. We're getting well into it. We only got 21 laps to go. All right, Alesi's behind me, but he's really far away, so assuming we don't go for an adventure at some point, that should be it. Ralph's caught up to Herbert there, I think. Is that Herbert, or it might be one of the Prost cars? Frenson's in the pits, but we're definitely not close enough to get around him before he comes out. There goes Ralph around the Prost. All right. I cannot believe. Ooh, Damon up there side by side, I think, with Herbert. So both the Jordans are together. Did Damon pit yet? Maybe not. It's all pretty tight up here now. The two Jordans with the Sauber, Johnny Herbert between them. And then I'm trying to hang on with my Benetton here. All right, the two Jordans are together. How funny would it be? He's going for a move. I think Ralph's trying to get up the inside of Damon here. They're kind of stacking up behind Herbert. This might give me an opportunity to get back up there if Herbert's a bit slow. Oh, Fisichella, my teammate. The podium's not going to happen, buddy. Out of the race with suspension. I'll pretend not to be happy. I mean, that won't be good for the Constructors' Championship, but for the debut, I guess the team could see that Giancarlo was outperforming young Royce here. I hope my suspension doesn't fail too. Oh, there goes Damon into the pits. All right, that clears that up. Unfortunately, that might have been well, I guess that wouldn't have helped. He already got passed. So looks like we're kind of back to where we were. I'm back in the points thanks to my teammate falling out, and I can see 4th and 5th right in front of me. And we got to see if I can catch him. I don't know, though. Damon went so long on... What is with the one stop in this? That is a crazy long stint. You would never do that in real life. I'll have to check. I didn't modify anything with the strategy stuff for the track. I figured the default track probably had a good setting for it, so I'll investigate next one. Yeah, Fishy was having a good race, so not great for the team. We, of course, will be tracking not only the Drivers' Championship. Wow, what was that noise? We'll be tracking the Team's Championship as well. And so him being out, that's going to hurt us. It would have been a pretty good day for Benetton had he stayed in, because it seems like the other teams all have one car out. Williams, Ferrari, and McLaren all have one car out, so although we maybe wouldn't have gained any on them, we wouldn't have lost as much. All right, Ralf Schumacher's just 4 seconds up there, but I'm trying my hardest. Yeah, it's towing the line between having a crash. I am in the points, which above all is important. So I don't want to crash out of this spot. I don't really have any pressure from behind, thank God, with Jean Alesi back there. But I would love to catch up to these two in front. We're just going to have to see how the tires wear. If it's anything like the first stint, though, I'm not sure I'm going to have much for him. Oh, it's Hill behind me now. He's going to be battling with Alesi, I think. That'll keep him plenty busy. All right, 133 flat. That's close to my best lap of the race. Schumacher still pulled out a little bit, but he's getting mighty close to Herbert, and if they start battling, maybe I can pull in a little bit. Even getting one of them would be huge. Double my points from this race. Oh! Oh! They had it coming together! Oh, that was just one of them, though. Wait. It says I'm in 5th now. Did Ralph hit a lapped car or something? We'll see in a second, but I think Herbert's still in front of me. There was some other car out in the gravel there. I thought they had it coming together. How good is Grand Prix 4? I love this. There's always something happening. It's like a real race. Big lock up here. Come on, keep it on the asphalt there. So Herbert must still be in front of me because I would be in 4th if that was both of them. So Ralph definitely hit some sort of lapped car. Well, I want to take a look at that after the race too. If anybody wants to write down a couple of the key moments, we can try to find them on the replay after the race. All right, Herbert's in front of me, 8 seconds. Ralph Schumacher's only 7 behind, so I can't completely ignore that, but we'll try to push. I feel like Herbert was slightly slower than Schumacher, so we'll see if I have anything for him here. That's huge. That gets me into 5th, 2 points, potentially. Still got a ways to go. 16 laps to go in the race. Wow, I can't believe he got in an accident with a lapped car. No, I've never been to Australia. I would love to go. Got a good friend that lives there, and yeah, I think I'll try to get over in the next year or 2. It's just it's a big one from the east coast of the United States to Australia. It's not even the distance to travel there. It's, you know, I'd want to spend at least 2 weeks there, and getting 2 weeks to spend somewhere else is not always the easiest. They pulled a second on me that lap. They're just quick today, and Schumacher gained by a second too, so might have to deal with him before long. I maybe shouldn't have waved at him on the way by. Keeping an eye on the mirror there for old Ralph. Guess he didn't get any damage in the accident. He was able to get it out of the gravel and keep going. That looks like a dark car there. Maybe have a lap car between me and him that he's going to have to get around, which will be good. Catch the slides. If you're just tuning in or started late, we're doing, it's the first round of the 1998 F1 season in Grand Prix 4. Going to be doing the whole season, full-length races. you know, full reel settings and all that. And man, it's been moments of excitement and then a lot of just trying to do good lap times. There's been some big gaps in this, but opening lap had it coming together with Eddie Irvine. I think it was his fault, but we're gonna watch it after the race. And then I've been trying to keep ahead of Johnny Herbert and Ralf Schumacher the whole race. But Johnny's gotten ahead of me. Ralph was ahead of me as well, but had it coming together with a lapped car, so we got back around him. We're just trying to get to the end now. Hopefully the Benetton sticks together with me. My teammate had a mechanical failure some laps ago. Bumped him off the podium, I think he was on. But it's, I think, Mika Hakkinen in the lead from Michael Schumacher up there. And yeah, well, hopefully won't go a lap down, but that's certainly on the cards today. Dance the car through. The tires have been difficult for me in this one. All right, Ralph, he's closed in a little bit, but he might be stuck with that Prost that's behind me, so we'll see. See if he was not able to get to me for the rest of the race. It's going to start running out of laps here soon. We still got 13 laps to go. Just trying to be ultra smooth. I wish I could reel in Herbert in front. He's just too quick. I maybe should have put a little more wing on or something, but I don't exactly feel slow in a straight line either. And I just saw Mika Hakkinen behind me, so I think it's going to happen. So we'll actually have to do one less lap, which honestly is probably for the best. Of course, the car could always brake on me, which would be awful at this point, but that tends to be when it happens. All right, there's the blue flags. I'm not going to be quite as hard-headed about it this time, but still going to wait for him to get to me. 12 seconds off of Herbert now, and man, it's depressing. They are right quick. I have to really do something special for Interlagos to try to keep up. Maybe it'll be a wet race. I'm going to try to run the rest of the season with just random weather. And so we'll have to deal with it as it comes. Don't do that. First big mistake there. I mean, I guess we could have differing opinions on the Eddie Irvine accident, but I think that was more an Eddie mistake than me. Well, that lets Mika by. See if I can slipstream him or something. McLaren Mercedes proving every bit as powerful as it was in real life here today. I gotta be really careful here. I'm worried Ralph's gonna come up behind me and it's gonna be tough to keep him there. I can see it back there, the yellow Jordan. It's only 3 seconds off me. Got 10 laps to go with the leader having passed me. Or I guess 11. I just don't have a lot of grip. It's tough. little wide there. It's crazy Mika's put a lap on me. I feel like I've driven pretty well, all things considered. But we clearly don't have the pace. There is a little bit of a random element, even with the player car, that I've chosen to keep in. So if we did this exact same race again, my car might be a little bit faster, but I feel like that'll keep it pretty exciting. Even if I do a lot of practice, we won't quite know the car that I'll have come race time. So potentially I just got bad sets of tires today, or a little worse of an engine or something, you know? You can think of it like that. We'll hope it's that and not the driving part. Tank slapper there. You got to be careful that one doesn't send you into the wall. See Ralph back there. He's going to keep me honest here for the last 10 laps or so. I have to try my hardest to keep him back there. I would love the 2 points instead of the 1. You never know. Oh, a yellow flag. No, an oil leak. Oh no! We can come into the pits. Ah, the points finish. That's probably it. You can see if the team can fix it. I'm trying. Oh no! Oh, we got oil coming out the back for real. All right, here's the team. Patch it up, boys. I think they're going to be able to patch it up. Dang, we're still in 6th. Come on. I don't know. How do you guys feel about that? I feel like that should be a DNF maybe, but... All right, we're in 7th. There's Damon. The team, there was just some oil on the exhaust, it turned out. I have brand new tires now and not a lot of fuel. I can do qualifying laps here. Damon in front of me is the points. We'll just have to pretend it was a failure that could be fixed. Some electronics issue. Maybe they changed the steering wheel. All right, we've got one of the arrows in front here. Not gonna wait for him. I mean, there was a chance there too. My engine could have just failed and I wouldn't have been able to get back. So I guess we'll have to take it as a fixable failure. It caused me to have an extra pit stop here. And yeah, there's still a high chance I don't get anything from this. So I have to see the pace difference between me and Damon. But I do have brand new tires, which is going to help. Alesi is only 6 seconds behind me, but he's 4 seconds up the road. Let's try a good lap here. I don't have many laps left to do this. think I'm reeling him in. Just have to be, I'm mucking it up in every corner, pushing very hard. We only got 7 laps to go, 6 laps to go with being lapped. .131.8. Almost flat there. Man, it feels so nice to have good tires on the car and low fuel. So much easier to drive than it's been all race. All right, it was 4 seconds 2 laps ago. I've definitely pulled him in, but we don't have many laps to do this. I got to actually pass him too, not just catch him. It's 2 seconds now, so about a second a lap. So we'll be there soon. We're gonna have a shot at it, as long as I don't make a mistake here. All over the curves. Eddie Jordan be begging Damon to hold me off. I think it's on for a double points finish for Jordan right now, and I'm looking to spoil that. We don't want Jordan ahead of us in the championship, but they're gonna be no matter what, unless Ralph has a DNF. But I can limit the damage today. All right, we're right to him now. Have to have a classic scrap here with Damon Hill. Ooh, he's got a little bit of speed on me in the straight. That was my fastest lap of the race. That's, I guess, when we want it. Oh, I'm gonna have a nice run here. Damon doesn't defend. Oh, now he does. Right on him. Gonna have a little run here down towards the corner. All right, up the inside this time. Oh, he outbrakes me. I broke pretty late there. I don't want to get squeezed on the inside there. He's gonna squeeze me to the outside too, though. Try not to run into the back of him like I did Alesi. He has a lot of straight lines, so I'm having a tough time getting a run on him. He blocks the inside there. I run it a bit hot. Keep it on the road, though. Good one, Damon. Well held there, buddy. Oh, I just have so much more speed than him right now, but it's hard to pass because he's so quick in a straight line that I can't quite get the run. Wow, he changed lines so many times there. A little bump. I didn't want to, but get around Damon Hill. He'll be cross about that. All right, run away. I think we got a Prost in front of us that we'll have to negotiate here, but only a few laps to go now. I think 3 because we're a lap down. Well, I was going to dive on him, then he went right, so I went left, and then he went left, so I went right. By that point, I'd already committed to the pass. So, if anything, he changed lines too many times in front of me. But I'm happy we didn't DNF from that. Seems like we're both going to finish at least. All right, but back into the points after a suspicious engine issue, we'll call it, with 10 laps to go. Caused me to pit from 5th position. We'll see what the gap is to the car in front, but it's obviously going to be a very long shot to get up there. Still doing 31s, even with the pass. All right, 22 seconds behind Ralph. I think that seals the deal, unless there's a DNF in front of me. We'll run it to the finish, just keep Damon behind me. Try to get around this. Who is this, Olivier? So lap down Prost. So close. All right, get around that car. Jeez. Not easy work. Ooh, stutter there. Come on, GP4, hold together for me for just 3 more laps. I'm really closing in on Ralph too, but it's, obviously 23 seconds with 2 laps to go is a bit too much. Almost spun out there. Don't do that. All right, come to start the final lap, I think, because we're a lap down. 31.4. What a race. It honestly, for GP4 standards, this one wasn't even that exciting compared to some of them, but it still had plenty going on. And I think gives you a taste for how awesome this is as an offline game. It really, really feels like I'm in a Formula One race. And I mean, other sims don't really do that very well. Not like these games did. Up the brakes big time there. All right. Bring it to the finish now. Let's not throw it away here on the last lap. There it goes. Mika Hakkinen is the winner. McLaren win the first race, just like they did in real life. Although slightly less controversially, I think Coulthard let Mika Hakkinen pass towards the end of the race to give him the win. That was either here or Interlagos, one of them. And everybody was up in arms about it. We'll come through the final couple of corners, take it nice and easy now. I got a Stewart in front of me here. It's a flagman on the side of the track there, taking their lives in their own hands, but giving us the wave home. Cross the line, 1 point for the first race. Maybe could have had 2. Maybe I could have finished in 4th, but yeah, I think that's a decent result for how slow I was. Oh my God, I was pushing really hard there to catch Damon Hill. The rest of the race was a bit frustrating with how much I had to tiptoe. The car just didn't have any grip, so I had to be so careful to not spin it out. And I only made like 1 or 2 driving errors, not much. So I feel pretty happy with that. I think I got the best I could have gotten given the circumstances today, but that's all I can ask for, right? I'm sure Damon's going to be a little upset about that nudge, and yeah, we'll have to look at the replay here in a second, but we'll look at a few of the highlights on the replay. We're going to take a look at the full results too. I'll put the points together and we'll look at those before I wrap things up. I appreciate everybody for watching me. I know the real Formula One is on at the moment, so yeah, thanks for choosing to at least have this on a second screen. Not a bad first showing from Royce, right? The Axelson name, although he may not be as excited about the namesake as we got a Tyrrell in the dirt. Wow, couldn't make it back. Was that Takagi? There it is. It all worked. All right, Mika Hakkinen wins the race. Let's quickly look at the results in case something bad does happen. Mika Hakkinen wins the race. I'm going to do the points here as we speak so that we can look at them together in a second. I have a whole spreadsheet worked out for this so that we can quickly have custom results. Now, I could have used the in-game championship mode for this because it is just a 16-round season. But just to keep it, in case something breaks, I decided to do it outside the sim. So we're just doing single races, but it doesn't really change anything from a racing standpoint. 4th for Johnny, 5th for Schumacher, Ralph, and then 6th for Royce. Oh, yeah. Nice. I'll fix Tyrrell's name in the post. All right, we'll look at that in a second. All right, so let's look at the full results. So, yeah, I finished 6th place. It was just Ralph from myself back that was a lap down. But Heinz Harold Frentzen, the Williams on the podium, not bad for them. 3 different teams on the podium too, which is always fun to see. Damon Hill, going to be upset about that. Finishes in 7th ahead of Jean Alesi. Jan Magnussen finishes the race for Stewart back in 9th. Olivier Panis finishes back in 10th ahead of Pedro Denise in the Arrows, who finishes. And then the final finisher, who we saw parked on the side of the road, was Tora Takagi there at the end. But then my teammate was wow, he retired with like 20 laps to go, so there weren't a lot of failures at the end of the race. But Giancarlo, my teammate, was definitely on for a good finish, 3rd or 4th, finishes in 13th, though, with a suspension failure. Eddie Irvine, who's lucky he wasn't out on lap 1, but has a puncture there. Both Minardis, Esteban Tuero and Shinji Nakano, both out with some failures. Mika Salo in 17th with an engine failure in the Arrows. Rubens Barrichello quite early on with suspension in the Stewart. David Coulthard we saw parked off to the left there with an electrical failure on the McLaren. Jarno Trulli in the Prost with a puncture. Ricardo Rossi didn't like his throttle today, so he finished back in 21st. And I think Jacques Villeneuve had a DNF because of the first lap crash that we'll look at here in a second. Yeah, the results look good. I did the ratings myself, but I feel like they've worked out pretty well. All right, and let's look at the points on my custom spreadsheet here. If you give me a second to pull it up. Oh, we'll do it like this, actually. There it is. Driver standings. So Mika Hakkinen. So this was in the era where they got 10 points for winning. So they added 1 point. It used to be 9 historically, but Mika Hakkinen is in the lead now at 10 points ahead of Michael Schumacher with 6, Heinz-Harald Frentzen with 4, Johnny Herbert with 3, Ralf Schumacher with 2, and then Royce Axelson, our hero, we'll call him, is in 6th place. Team standings, then, it's going to be the same. Not a lot to look at just yet, but McLaren, Mercedes, yeah, it's 6 different teams, though, which is always cool. So it's a very, very competitive championship thus far because of the failures and stuff. But McLaren ahead of Ferrari, Williams in 3rd, Sauber in 4th, Jordan with 2 points in 5th. Saved them from having 3 points, though, which would have tied them with Sauber. So we get Benetton on the board with 1 point. And, yeah, I think that was a pretty successful outing based on the speed that I had there. All right, let's see if I can. I think I should be able to look at the replay if we go to load and then look at the auto saves, quick saves. And where should be one from like the very end of the race. Yeah, one of these. Hopefully. No, wait, that's not today. I think these are them, even though the time and stuff is completely wrong. Hold on, this might get a little weird for a second, but I think I should be able to rewind and we can take a look at the results. Or take a look at some of the highlights from the race. Yeah, Royce, I've in the canon, he's the nephew. Oh, this is the start of the race. That's not good. Hold on. Oh, that's not even the right race. Okay. Dang, do I not have? This is gonna be really upsetting. I thought I've done this before and it would save them for me. But for some reason I think it didn't. So we're never gonna know. Oh, this is it, I think. No, that's before the race started. I think this is before the race started. Yeah. Dang. I guess I don't have a replay. That's really upsetting. I thought I would have had one. Well, that's a big letdown. Won't get to see. I guess I'll have to watch the replay of the stream to see what happened. Yeah, this one's from today, but that's my save before the race, and I guess it just didn't save one. Huh. I should have paused it before the race ended, so we could have looked back at it. Yeah, so I'll just do it again? No. All right. Well, unfortunately, I'm sorry about that, but yeah. This is the kind of things you have to deal with. Doesn't look like I got a replay, unfortunately. I'll try to figure that out for next time. The results screen, wasn't there a full race highlight option? I didn't see it. Maybe there was. Well, unfortunately, yeah, I think I don't have a way to look at the replay. So we'll never know whose fault it was with the coming together with Irvine or with Damon Hill. But it was a fun race nonetheless. I hope you enjoyed it. A good opening round, I guess, for our 98 season. Come away with 1 point, but being on the board is always a good thing. And yeah, I'm very eager to do Interlagos. I don't know exactly when I'm going to do the next one. try to squeeze these in when I'm not doing an online race or something, which I know I've got quite a few of those coming up. I also am looking to start GP2, and I might do that one midweek with Ryan Axelson's season, if we can start doing the last race of the 89 season or 90 season, and then jump into 91, I guess, with Ryan Axelson and Grand Prix 2 doing Formula 1 for Benetton as well. I actually didn't even think of that. But yeah, thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will be back soon with the next one. But have a great rest of your weekend and everything, and I'll see you later.